Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 69 of Danfonce Talks Metal. I have Phil from Whitechapel with me today. Phil, how are you doing, man?
Good. How about you, man?
Pretty good, dude. Pretty fucking good. Stoked for today. Stoked to talk with you because you're like one of the few I think I've never met or anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I was
it's
telling you before.
it's pretty crazy.
I know, right? It's a small world, but also big. I mean, doing this podcast, I've met a lot of people that I've never really talked to before. So it's been fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about all this streaming and just social networking and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely opened up a lot because this is something I've never ever done before. And I started it obviously last year.
Yeah.
And you as well, right? You've been streaming on Twitch here and there
Yeah, I do every
once
now and then.
once in a while.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
nothing too serious.
Yeah,
But yeah,
whenever you're
I've
feeling it.
yeah, exactly.
That's the best way to do it. And that's how I've been. I was like on this kick of doing like 2 episodes a week, and I started getting kind of burnt out. And then I took a break for a couple months, which the break was only supposed to be for 2 weeks, then it turned into 2 months.
Yeah.
And then because touring and everything started back up, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I got a lot of shit to do.
Yeah.
and then um and then I was just like, then the partnership with Twitch happened, which took longer than it should have, but it's fine. It happens. It's a big
Yeah.
company.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it again. Let's do it again. But
Yeah.
I never really like had a schedule with it before. It was just like whenever I'm like feeling it, like I want to do this today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for sure.
and I think with this podcast, that's how it's gonna be. It's not gonna be like I'm doing it twice every week, 2 episodes a week. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be that way anymore. And it's only gonna be people I want to talk to.
Yeah.
Not saying like, the guests I've had before I didn't want to talk to, but sometimes it like felt like I had to push myself,
Yeah,
because I was
exactly.
like in that groove of like, okay, I got to do this twice a week, everyone
Yeah.
expecting me to be live twice a week, but fuck
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit. We'll definitely get into your guys' new record, which by the way, I love the new single. I think
Thank
it's
you.
fucking great. I feel like that's like a really good song you guys came out with right away.
Yeah.
Um, it's heavy, it's fast, it's great
Thank you.
overall. But we'll get into that shortly. But so I had some questions which my mods definitely helped me with. I like to ask them like, hey, if you have questions for the guests, let's put something together, send them to me, and then I will. Oh God, I should turn off sound alerts before this gets going. And I'll incorporate them in with this. Let me just turn off sound alerts so no one uses them and scares the living shit out of me. There we go. It's happened before and it was scared the shit out of me because they're so loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's start off. When did you find out that you were interested in music?
Um, I'm probably around let's say like 11 years old or so, 10, 11 years old.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, of course I like music even younger than that, but I discovered like Metallica, and that's pretty much what spawned everything.
Hmm.
Metallica was my gateway band along with millions of other people.
Yep. Oh
Um,
yeah.
so it started with that, and then it slowly progressed to Pantera, um, Cannibal Corpse, Guar.
Oh wow.
Uh, of course, I went through a punk phase whenever I was in my like early/mid teenage years,
Hmm.
and then I kind of slowly migrated back to metal.
Yeah.
And yeah, metal's just always been like the music that I've always.
Stuck with pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
And but I mean, I still love punk rock, I mean, like the kind of like skater punk kind of stuff, because I skateboarded whenever I was a teenager.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was mostly metal
Mostly,
uh
yeah. It's all
throughout my teenage years.
That was about the same as well. It was like classic rock at first, then it went into then I started finding out about Metallica and all those bands, and then it went
Yeah.
into like what did it went oh yeah, it went into new metal.
Yeah.
And then I got into like rap for a good period, like a short period. I still like rap, but it's not my main music I listen to. And
Yeah.
then it went to like then I started finding out about death metal.
Yeah. Yeah. It was I found out about death metal mainly from Cannibal Corpse, Ace Ventura in the 90s.
Oh, is that how you discovered them?
Yeah, well, that's the first time I'd ever heard anything like that, and
Yeah,
I just was,
hooked.
this is my type of music, like this, because I thought it was so scary and I thought it was
Yeah,
badass at the same time, so I was hooked ever since I heard them.
that's fucking rad. Yeah, I was like the same way when I started hearing like screaming in music. I was like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then I went to like the Trust Kill Ferret bands, and that just opened up a whole other door.
Yeah, yeah.
It was all uphill from there. um, what did your family think when you started getting into metal? Or the
um I mean, as far as the music that I listen to, no one really ever questioned what I listened to, or don't even really think they knew too much.
yeah,
Um, yeah, they just thought I was being a kid and just, because I did
through a phase.
skateboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I didn't really have like any sort of like crazy look or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of kept to myself with it. And, growing up, after what had happened with my parents and everything, like they weren't really, my dad was gone too soon to really see the type of music that I would get into. And then, my mom was pretty much absent. So it was kind of kept to myself, and
Yeah.
no one really
Questioned
no
it.
one really ever thought about anything that I'd listened to or whatnot. The only people that might have really known was mostly my two of my cousins. They both listened to, that's where I discovered Pantera and
Oh, okay.
Guar and stuff like that, because that's what they had listened to whenever they were teenagers, and they're like, I don't know, 7 years older than me or so.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, I discovered Pantera and all that kind of stuff.
Just went there. Yeah. That's like I remember discovering Pantera. I think it was through their DVD.
Oh yeah.
I think one of my friends, I think that's how I discovered them. One of my friends had it, and they were like, yo, we got to watch this. You have to watch
Yeah.
this. And I was like, what the fuck's happening? This is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is great. So when did you start? When did you discover you wanted to be a vocalist?
I would say probably around 17, 18 years old.
Oh, okay.
I kind of just like messed around with it a few times in my mid teenage years,
Yeah.
and the people that had heard me said that I sounded pretty good, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll pursue this sometime. But
Yeah.
I played guitar in a different band, and I did backup vocals and stuff, and our singer tragically passed away.
Oh, wow.
But this was way after we had stopped playing in that band.
Okay.
But he was a very shy guy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's super talented. He played piano very well too. Like
I love
if he was a piano, like a solo artist, he would have blown up.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
but he was very shy on stage, and I always wondered why, when we were playing live, I always thought to myself, I wish he would be more energetic, and
Mm-hmm.
uh and he had kind of inspired me to do to be a front man,
Oh, wow.
after the band, because I just wanted to take, what he was doing
Yeah.
and just amp it up. And but he was just naturally just kind of a shy, quiet person.
Yeah.
And
So he would have
I'm
been.
kind of the same way, but
Yeah.
I just knew what really needed to happen or what a front man needed to do, and uh, he just wasn't really doing it.
Yeah. So he
And
kind of like inspired you.
yeah, like
And
his, I'm not trying to throw shade at him or anything, God rest his soul, but
yeah.
um, that was like one, I'm here to tell the truth, and
Yeah, for sure.
that's what he he is man, just thinking about back on it, he like in our teenage years, just someone
Hmm.
that could sing like that, and like he's just so talented, and
Yeah.
it's
Over.
such a shame that he'd passed. And it was
That
our
was
guitar
sad.
player's best friend.
Oh man.
um is Ben Savage's best friend,
Oh wow.
one of our guitar players. And
Yeah.
but
Damn.
yeah, I mean, I got inspired from that, but I also got just inspired by my own curiosity, because I
Okay.
just wanted to, uh, and plus, just worrying about guitars and guitar gear and all that shit. I was just kind of like, maybe this is what I need to do, because I
Yeah.
don't want to.
I don't want to deal with this shit.
Yeah,
You
I
see what your
just
guitars deal with.
yeah. So I just put all my time and effort into doing vocal stuff, and yeah,
Was
that's what I stuck with.
was there like anyone specifically, like other vocalists that like inspired you, or like
Yeah, I
influenced
mean,
you, I should say?
there's been many from all kinds of different genres. There's no like one single solitary person that has just
Yeah, I
been
figured that.
the person that like inspired me like to do what I do. There's
Hmm.
just been so many of them.
Yeah, that's rad. I remember finding out about Whitechapel before you got like probably like a year or two before you signed to Metal Blade, and
Hmm.
I think it was because that's when I started discovering like Knights of the Abyss
Yeah.
and oh man, I'm forgetting the other band name. So they're from Phoenix as well, but it was like
Uh,
oh man, why can't I
there's
remember?
Job for a Cowboy.
Well, yeah, them as well, but
Nice of the Abyss.
there was that other band that was getting popular. They're like getting pretty big on like like through MySpace. Obviously, a lot of bands got their start on MySpace. I feel like MySpace helped a lot of people, a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
bands, big
As
time.
much as as much of a meme as that website is,
It was
it
fantastic.
amazing. It's
I'll
just
never
looking
talk
back
bad
on
about
it.
it.
Oh no, it was. I mean, MySpace
Right?
was one of the main reasons why we got to where we were.
For sure, a lot of bands. Job for
Hmm.
a Cow. I mean, Jesus, so many from early on,
Yeah, us,
right?
Suicide, Job, All
Hmm.
Shall Perish. Yeah, just all of them.
Yeah. No, hold on one second. No, I turned. Did I turn them off? No, I did. I turned them off. Yeah, no, MySpace definitely helped out a lot. I worked with Knights of the Abyss like way back then, um, and just all those bands. That's just like when I discovered Whitechapel, and then I
Hmm.
remember when you guys got signed the Metal Blade, and I was like, holy shit! Obviously, that was a big deal for the band.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who approached you guys? Did one?
Um,
Do you
as
remember?
far as for the Metal Blade stuff,
Yeah.
well, we actually had a music lawyer, and
Okay.
we also had um and we had been we were known through MySpace, by record labels and everything.
Hmm.
And God, we played like a Victory Record showcase like a long time ago.
I feel like every band back then played one of those.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, we. I
How
mean,
was
just thinking
that?
back on that, I'm just like, man. I mean, we're doing what we have to do to get our name
Yeah.
out and whatever. I mean, we pretty much knew we weren't going to be going with them, but we
You're just
just,
like, fuck it, let's play it.
yeah, let's just go do it.
Might as well, right?
Um, but yeah, I mean, we had a music lawyer that was actually knew the people at Metal Blade, and he got in contact with them to show them uh show them us and what we're about and everything. Show them us. You know, they
Yeah.
pretty much already knew, but he was basically negotiating a deal with them. And
okay.
you know, we're a new band, so of course we're not going to get everything we want because we're kind of a risk. So
Yeah.
you know, you don't know if we're gonna provide
pop.
for the because they provide for us, and we also have to provide for them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
because at the end of the day, I mean, it is business
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to this type of stuff. But yeah, we negotiated a good deal, and we ever since then, I mean, we were signed to Siege of Amida, which is out of they were out of the UK, and that was our very first label, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you did one record with them, right?
Yeah, well, it was them, and they were in partnership with Candlelight Records, and yeah, so they put out the Somatic Defilement back in 2007, and our first ever it was like one of the first tours that we'd ever done was outside of the country in England, and of course we were already kind of picking up speed there because we are that's what our name is based out of, is in London.
Yeah.
And so we had already had like a little bit of hype there, and yeah, I mean, most of the stuff that we were doing was more or less out of the country, because I mean, one of the first couple tours we ever did, or one of the first things we'd ever done was before we actually did a tour was we went to Canada to play Beneath the Massacre.
Oh shit.
Like four different Canadian shows, like Eastern Canada.
Yeah. That's
and yeah, I mean, and then our first tour ever though was done very independently, no booking agent, anything like that. It was I'm pretty sure it was the guitar player in that band called With Blood Comes Cleansing.
Oh wow, what a name. I haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah.
It was probably booked all through MySpace.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, it was booked. I mean, that was 2007.
Yeah.
You know, so that was that was the first proper tour that we did. And
it was just you two bands, you and them.
Yeah, so and that was prior to getting signed to Metal Blade. So we didn't get signed to Metal Blade until 2008, I think.
Oh, was it 2008?
Well, no, I think it might have been like near the end of 2007. I would have to go back and look. It was 2007, 2008, one of those 2 years, because Exile came out in 2008.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and look and fact check everything, but it was it was the same time frame.
How did the band form exactly?
Well, me and Ben Savage were in that band together previously,
that's right.
And we all knew who each other were through our local music scene, and we were always kind of looked at as the more serious members.
Yeah.
The people that wanted to really take a stab at this and quit our jobs and
go for it.
Yeah, exactly. So Alex and Derek, our original drummer, were in a band called Confessions of Aries or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
And they were playing shows and doing their thing. And I know Alex was just fed up being in that band. And he brought Derek with him, and me and Ben Savage had quit our previous band, and our original guitar player, Brandon Cagle, he was we were just going over to his base because me and him were friends. We went to high school together.
Yeah.
And we were going to his over to his house, and in his basement, me and Ben were writing Whitechapel stuff. Previous, like before we knew the band name and everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is before.
Yeah, we were just writing stuff, the stuff that we wanted to write, which was basically, just Whitechapel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon was, he played guitar too. And so it was like the three of us writing stuff. And then I got in contact with Alex through AOL Instant Messenger.
Love it.
And yeah, me and him just started talking, and I sent him things that me and Ben were working on, and he was just like, "Oh my god, dude, this is exactly what I want. You're the exact type of vocalist I want. Like, you have the sound and everything."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the three of us met up with him and Derek, and he had a friend that played bass, which was Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up together. So it was basically these three guys from so there's basically Knoxville, and
Mm-hmm.
then next to it is this place called Maryville.
Okay.
So it was like three guys from Knoxville, three guys from Maryville. We all met up, and it was that's whenever the three guitar player thing came into play, because I had two guitar players with me, and Alex is a guitar player, and we didn't want to like kick anyone out, hurt anybody's feelings, I guess. So we were just like,
let's try to make it work.
Yeah, just right? Like, I don't know, maybe we'll be heavier, I guess, because we didn't want three guitar players.
Okay, yeah.
So we just kind of just ran with it, because I mean, we didn't want to kick anyone out, because we were all contributing, and we would feel like assholes for doing that.
Yeah. It's just like,
so, yeah,
let's try to make this work.
Yeah, I mean, that's how that came to be. So
that's rad.
Yeah, it's just a local music scene of dudes that weren't in bands together and eventually came together. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of bands that like it's like back then, there was not a lot of bands trying to do the three guitars thing, but like anyone that were trying to do it, it just never worked out for them. I guess an example would be Acacia Strain.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember seeing them early on as with three guitarists with three full stacks on stage in like a 50 cap room in New York, and it was the most ridiculous thing ever. I thought I was going to go deaf after that show, but
yeah, that's the only time that something like that really
won't work.
Makes
sense.
Yeah, because you're in such a small compacted room, you're not working with a huge PA.
Exactly.
But we've basically taken it and we've incorporated parts of songs that have three guitar players or three guitar parts going on at the same time. So
yeah,
because we don't want it to be just a useless thing, but it's also just kind of like it is kind of thing. So it's just always what we've been.
Yeah, no, it's rad that you guys kept it together, because it was like one thing I always like, will Whitechapel ever have just two guitarists? But you guys have literally kept it three the entire time.
Yeah,
which is,
yeah, I mean, and because we just all work so well together.
Yeah,
I mean,
it definitely worked out in your guys' favor, because obviously the chemistry's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's fucking rad. And while you were telling me that, the sound alerts weren't turned off, even though I did put them on pause. So there was a big loud moan in my fucking ears. So that was,
oh really?
Oh my god. Yeah, I think these funny sound alerts, people like can use bits to make them go off. Yeah. But like when I do the podcast, you just go to the website and you just click the pause button, and I did, and it said they were off. They were paused. And then my mod got all fucking use some bits to make a loud moan go off. And then I went back on the website and they were turned back on. So that's funny. Now they're on pause. Don't do it again, please. Thank you. It's so loud. Anyway. It's rad. I mean, when did you who came up with the name Whitechapel? Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure, I'm not trying to, take credit for everything, but I'm pretty sure it was me.
Yeah.
I was just researching shit that was like cool or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the band name is like, it's weird because it's either super relevant or not relevant at all. It's just either used for a cool name or used for the actual theme of the band.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just kind of I found that, and I'd looked into it, and I saw the name Whitechapel, and because I was looking up just like, I don't know, like murders and just crazy shit like that, just to find like maybe like a cool word that we could kind of associate with.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I found that, and I told Ben and Brandon about it, and they were like, yeah, that sounds pretty damn cool, and so the funny thing is that the band originally was going to be called Articulo Mortis.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a song name on the first album.
Yeah.
So
that would have been a band name.
Yeah, thank God we didn't call it.
Yeah, you didn't go with that.
Yeah, because I was all into like gore metal and all that stuff at the time, like Exhumed and bands like that.
Yeah. So you were trying to figure out, you wanted a crazy name.
Yeah, right? They were just like the gory death metal stuff. So yeah, so it was. I'd found that, and I just looked into it, and I was like, oh, well, this has like really cool history. It's tied to Jack the Ripper and all that. And then that was what the Smack Defilement was solely based on, was that whole ordeal, the Jack the Ripper thing. So whenever you do something like that, it's almost like you're basically pigeonholing yourself. Like,
yeah, no, you definitely are.
Yeah, and it's like that's what people are going to expect you to do for forever, and it's just like, well, I can't just keep doing
that
something about. We can't just be a band that makes it be a serious band.
Yeah.
That makes every album about Jack the Ripper, so like, I mean, you're eventually going to run out of material.
Oh yeah, very fast.
So, but the name just kind of stuck, and it was, kind of a catchy name, and and with the name, like you don't really even know what to make of it if you've never heard it before. You're just like, oh, that sounds, because for the longest time, it was just, hey, are you guys a Christian band? Just no, very far from it.
Yeah.
And then if it wasn't that, then they just you weren't saying like, you weren't giving them some like horrible sounding like just grotesque band name.
Well, yeah, because the other name sounds like a slam band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it would be. That's what you would automatically assume.
Yeah, well, yeah. If some like random person, hey, what's the name of your band? Fucking just gut eater or something like that. Just you know what I mean? Like because I mean, I wanted to make a career out of it, and
yeah, you guys were serious. You wanted to take this like far and get it, build it as big as you possibly could.
Yeah, because I mean, with stuff like that, you can only go so far. I mean, it's just
you pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not just because I didn't just like death metal, and I loved all kinds of stuff, and I didn't want to. I definitely think that we took the right path not to really put ourselves just in this one category and have to just constantly make that category of music, because that's just not who we were as people. That's what I wanted to make at the time. I wanted to make like just heavy, aggressive, and like shocking music.
Yeah.
And and that's just the time of my life, and that's the just the point that I was at. That's the kind of lyrical content I wanted to write about, and I just had all this like, I don't know, I wouldn't say pent up anger, but just like things that had happened to me in my past. You know, I'm sure it was coming out in that,
Yeah,
and um,
it makes
but you know,
sense.
it is what it is. You know, like
Hmm.
life's fucking weird, man. We all go through
It's very weird.
our things and our phases and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah. Did uh what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Did you ever see the band lasting this long? Like, did the band ever go through, like, I mean, I'm sure you guys did, like, through some like real hard struggles throughout the years.
um I mean, our intentions were to make this a serious thing.
Like everyone was like mostly on the same page with that. Like we gotta,
Yeah, but I mean, as far as expectations, you know, in a in a business that's so cutthroat
yeah.
that we expected to try.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whether we would make it or not is, you know, was up to, you know, the rest of the population.
For sure.
Uh, because you know, if you don't sell and you don't generate any sort of benefit for, you know, labels or, you know, booking agents or anything like that, then I mean,
It
what's the
could fall.
point?
Yeah.
Um, so then that's where, you know, you either have to just do everything yourself or
Mm-hmm.
but no, I mean, I wouldn't say that we expected it. We were striving for it, but we definitely didn't expect it.
Yeah, I feel like not a lot of people really expect it either.
Yeah.
I feel like, when you guys came out with This Is Exile, I was like, holy shit. I feel like everyone was. But I kind of like, I still listened to the records from Whitechapel after that, but I didn't really, really get pulled back in until you guys released The Valley. That's when I was like, wow, this record's incredible. Like, to me, that's like the best Whitechapel record to date. Obviously, haven't heard the new record, Ken, but I'm sure it'll
Yeah.
change my mind, especially from the single you guys released. Really blew me away. But I feel like The Valley was just like where you guys really, I don't know, just to me, it sounds like everything just really came together. You guys wrote like an incredible record. Would you say that's like your favorite record from the band to date?
Um,
Or what
well,
would
I mean, the new record is probably my
probably?
favorite.
Yeah.
But that also has a lot of different variables to it, you know,
Hmm.
whether it's you know, just like it's new, it's fresh,
Yep.
and we're the creators of the music. So like um it's hard to really say because every album to us has certain special characteristics about it, whether it's a certain time in our career that it's generated something for us or um things of that nature. But
Hmm.
for the just the progression of the band and just where we're at and um yeah, I mean the newer records are always going to be the ones that we're the most
Most
stoked
ex-
about
for sure.
because you know I'm proud of everything that we've done in the past up until now, but
Yeah.
it's you know we've just we're our own worst critics and
That's
um
how it usually is.
so all the old stuff is just it's just burnt to burn out in our minds, you know, like we're just
Hmm.
burnt out on it.
Yeah, which
um
is understandable, I feel like.
yeah, and it's just more or less it's just more interesting to create these new things and just it's like wow, like we're capable of this or we're capable of that. But as far as the turning point, because we've had like the middle of our catalog is kind of a roller coaster for in my opinion.
Yeah,
um
that's a good way to put it, I feel like.
because after Exile, people were expecting just like the best record ever, the best like heavy record ever,
Yeah.
and I definitely think it was a good record, but it's definitely not the most sought after record in our catalog.
No.
Um,
Yeah, no, it's not.
and then you know we did self-titled, which was kind of the we've went through like these chapters of like 3 albums. Is like the first chapter was you know Somatic Exile, New Era, and then the sec the I'll say that no okay, so the first chapter is Somatic Exile,
Mm-hmm.
New Era.
Okay.
Second chapter is
Self-titled, right?
self-titled, uh, Ardenless War, Mark of the Blade, and like now we're in our third chapter, which is like the third
That's a good
part of
way to put it.
our story. And
Yeah.
like the Bally is the first one, Ken is the second one, and then whatever comes after that. And I'm not saying that's what we're planning to do. It's just funny how it's worked out that way, because that there's just so many different points in our career, because the first three were just the glory days, the golden days of just being kids and
Just
doing
young.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Writing
And
heavy
then,
ass music.
yeah, then
Right.
the middle albums are like or the next three albums were kind of where we were just like set in stone, like this is what we're doing, like
Mm-hmm.
and we had to get a new drummer.
Yeah, I remember
Our
that.
sound had progressed to, you know, a different style, but also still, I feel like we
Still
do it very
yeah.
well. And I credit that to the musicians in the band.
Yeah, they know how
That
to
we
write some
just,
good riffs.
well, we just, I feel like we keep
Songwriting.
our traditional sound, but like just a new, like just an
It's just
evolution
more,
of it.
yeah, it's just more mature.
Yeah,
Just,
that's
you
basically
know,
what I look at it as. I mean,
yeah,
we write how we age. You
for
know,
sure.
we just I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I
and
think,
plus when you're in the music business for so long, I mean, like you tour with bands and all these you know all these other bands, that there's other bands that inspire you to write different stuff.
mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I'm
I
sure you
mean, one of the
guys.
bands that I think is inspiring for us to you know, not copy, but you know, they've inspired us to branch out in our own ways, as bands like Architects,
Oh,
or
yeah. They're one of my
because
favorites, too.
I mean they're a completely different band than us,
Mm-hmm.
and they just write such good music. It's heavy as hell, but it's also, they write really nice, like pretty stuff, and atmospheric stuff, and this just has a whole mood to it. And you know, we just don't want to be, we just want to write music, and whether it's heavy or soft or chaotic or mellow, like we just want it to, if you like it, like it. Don't like stop attaching labels and names to things. Like if
Yeah,
it's
it
good
gets,
music, who cares who writes it?
dude, yeah. A lot of people just love that, like, especially with like subgenres. It gets so annoying, and I'm just like, when people are like, well, what kind of music they play? I'm like, yeah, it's just metal. That's it.
Well, and that goes for anything, like a
Yeah,
lot of things in life too. It's just people are just so obsessed with labels,
it's
and just
unbelievable.
it's you know, I mean, I understand that people have to find their identity through things and find who they are
Oh yeah,
and what they
definitely.
belong to, but it's like it's just got to the point where it becomes like a shouting match of just like, no, this is what this is, or no, this is
Mm-hmm.
what this is. And it's just like, man, like who cares? Just take it for, just stop looking at it at surface level, and just, I don't know, it just
Just take
it
it
just,
how it is. I mean, there's no point. Yeah, some
well, it's
people,
like
but
when, well, people say like, well, this is the kind of music that you're expected to write, or you know,
oh
I
yeah, I love that.
like, or like or
People that
you
have
know,
that mentality.
people say like, oh, Whitechapel singing, oh, this is not what,
It's not what it
this is
was.
not what Whitechapel is. Just like, I mean, like I don't care what people say, but at the same time, it's just like, who are you to tell me what
Yeah,
the band that I'm in should write? You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, this, you're not writing this music. You're not making, like, if you
Mm-hmm.
want that kind of music, then go make it.
Yeah, if that's what you
Like,
want, then go do it.
we're writing the music that we want to write, and if people like it, then great. And you know, that's the cherry on top.
That's
But at the
it.
end of the day, no matter who it is, what band, like, they should always write what they want to,
Yes,
and
I agree.
write you know, because it's just, if you're writing music for everyone else and not yourselves, then you're just selling yourself short. And
Yeah.
are you really happy with what you're making?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that's what true selling out is, when you
It
start writing
is.
for the fans, just solely the fans and not yourself.
Yeah.
You're not being true to who you are. Uh, that's what I think true selling out is.
Yes.
Because you know,
That's definitely.
because there's a lot of people that listen to like hard, death metal and all that stuff, and they look at it as like singing is selling out, or what or whatever.
No, that's what like literally like deathcore fans and whatnot, like death metal, like death metal fans, like they when a band starts or a death metal band starts singing, that they literally will call them out and be like, "Oh, you're selling out," blah blah blah. It's like no, it's just dude, it's just what they want to do.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, of course there are people that have just straight up sold out. And that's
For
the
sure.
other thing too, with when people, if people ever, have that opinion about us, I've just, dude, if I wanted to sell out, I wouldn't have started playing fucking metal.
For sure. Yeah.
Like I would have started playing like
genre.
yeah, like I would have started playing like fucking Nickelback butt rock shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, no, exactly.
And,
do you still enjoy doing the vocals you do, like screaming and whatnot? Do you still get like the same, I guess, feeling out of it?
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
still
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's just with subject matter and just the different styles that we're incorporating now.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I love it. I love to hear the finished product and everything come together. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely times where I'm like, whenever I'm home this like past 2 years and just even in between tours back whenever all this shit wasn't going on in the world, like whenever I'm home, like I don't vocals. Right. Yeah. Vocals
don't exist.
Don't exist. Like I just, because for me, like I've been doing it for so long. I mean, like, yeah, I probably should
like
brush
practice.
Up. Every
little bit.
Like maybe a couple times a month or something. But I've never had an issue. It's just kind of like riding a bike. Like, I don't know. I've trained myself to do it and I know how to do it. And like, that's just something I'm never going to lose. I'm never going to lose the know-how to do it, but the ability, yeah, that'll come in time. But
yeah, probably in time. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Not. But yeah, as we get older.
Yeah. I mean, you get older and, things just stop working as good. So
it's true. When did you figure out you could start? When did you always know you could actually sing?
I mean,
or when did you really start doing it? I should say.
I mean, I was just like anyone else, like, you'd sing to yourself or sing in the car along with the song. And, I like, sometimes I would like kind of halfway sing and like, there'd be people that would say like,
you should do that.
Yeah. You sound pretty good. Like, wow, you can actually sing pretty good. And like, my mom was a singer. She sang in church, and my youngest sister was another person that she really loved to sing. She could sing really good too.
Oh, that's right.
And yeah, I mean, and I dabbled with it a little bit with our previous band with the that me and Ben were in, and people told me that I was pretty good at it, and I never really did it in like a professional like studio setting. It was always just on shit recordings or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I had people tell me, I had like an ex-girlfriend that told me like, "Oh my God, your voice is so pretty, like you should sing." And I'm just not a very like, I don't take compliments very well.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I just like when people tell me like, "You're the fucking best vocalist ever," or so this, that, and the other, just like, I'm just like, I mean, I appreciate it, but like, I don't know. I view myself as a very I'm just like anyone else. I'm just average dude doing what I do. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a very.
I get what you're saying though. That's how I am. When people compliment me on anything, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, just like
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay at it.
I'm confident in what I do, but like I don't think I'm any better than anyone else.
Yeah, you don't think you're above anyone else.
I do my thing, and whoever likes it, great.
Exactly. No, I like that mentality. As far as the Valley goes and the upcoming record Kin, are there anything is Kin like a continuation of the valley at all?
Yeah, it's
It is.
literally like chapter 2. So
Okay.
it's right after the valley, and what's going on is it's a fictional story on a non-fictional story. So
Gotcha.
it's like it's a fictional take on a non-fictional story.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm basically telling a story that I had lived through, but just in a fictional way, and like a kind of like what if kind of way.
Gotcha.
So it's basically the front of the cover represents there's like two figures looking at each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it's supposed to be me and the evil side of me. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like kind of like a yin and yang.
Yeah.
Um, and if you actually flip the art upside down, there's a devil
Look at
in
it.
between it. It's got like the silhouette of a devil.
Oh shit.
Um,
I did not realize that.
so yeah, and that's basically
Oops.
representative of my stepdad. Um, but it's also just kind of like, kind of like evil is between us or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But it just basically is just showing like, it's just a kind of like an Easter egg in the whole album artwork. But and there's little things in the artwork too, is like if you look in the very center of it, down at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
in between the two, you see like that little cutout in the center, like that's the valley, like that's kind of like representative of the
Oh,
valley.
gotcha. Yeah,
um
I'm looking at it right now.
so
Turn
so
upside down.
yeah, because Doomwoods is the last track, and it says the devil is alive, he will find you.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever the first track on the new album is called I Will Find You. So it's like it's continuing it right there. Like it's basically my evil self has awoken and followed me out of the valley. It's an alternate reality. But at the same time, it's not real. It's all in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But it's being portrayed as like a physical thing.
Gotcha.
It's basically a story that's going on in my head, but it's manifesting itself
Mm-hmm.
as a real thing. So yeah, he follows me out of the valley and is coming to pull me back in. Because from the last album, there's an eye on the record or on the front of the cover,
Mm-hmm.
and I've used that to create a character, and that eye is an ancient god that an ancient evil god, and is kind of like the overseer of the valley, like kind of like this,
Yeah, I get that.
the ruler of the valley.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it just represents evil, and because of everything that happened was pretty much everything to do with evil.
Yeah.
So yeah, he follows me out, and he's created this reality. He's holding on because he's using different parts of my actual brain. He's different conscience within my brain.
Oh wow.
And just like the things that I could have thought or could have been or whatever, and basically just the evil me.
Yeah.
And he shares the same love and the same hatred that I have, which is hatred for my stepfather, love for my family, and all that stuff. So it's basically just that part of me in my head. And he is in the story, he eventually kills my stepfather, so I kill my stepfather.
Oh wow.
And sacrifice him to that ancient god to bring back my parents to perform a ritual. And he's created a new reality within the valley, and he's trying to pull me out of the real reality, which is what I'm living in actually.
Gotcha.
Because without him or without me, he can't exist. So over time, the longer he stays away from me, the longer he stays away from me, he will eventually start to die. So he's trying to pull me back in and fuse as one to remain in this reality, to live it with my parents back in the valley and have nothing and not have to relive all that stuff and fix everything. Basically, not have to relive through my childhood and stay there forever. But the problem is that my parents are both just shells of themselves, because in reality they're dead, and in this reality it's they just they're not alive. So I mean they're just shells of themselves. They move around and they have like no conscience. They can't talk, they just exist. They're just there, but just not there at the same time. So yeah, so he's pulling me back in to stay there, and it's just a big battle throughout the whole album of me fighting myself. Again, like I said, it's told as if it's literal, like it's actually happening, but it's just all in my head.
It's all I took.
So it's basically a representation of me battling myself in my head, and it has aspects of like things I could have done or could have been like got hooked on drugs or became an alcoholic, and it's got little moments in the album, what I would have been like, I guess, if I would have done it. And I mean there's parts where he trades realities with me. I go to his and he goes to mine, and tries to sabotage my life, so I'm forced to leave my own reality to be with him because I'm ashamed to show myself anymore.
Dude.
So
it's crazy.
So it's just a big battle of myself through the whole album, going through different things, different situations, and up until the climax and then the end. So it's a whole story. And it's directly related. It's chapter 2, like part 2. It is the Valley part 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I love that. Definitely stoked to hear this. When's the next single you think gonna drop for the record?
Very soon.
It is? That's awesome.
Yes, very soon.
Definitely need to hear that. Can't wait. What was like the writing process for this record? Did it differ at all from the Valley at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it just mainly just due to the pandemic. I mean, we didn't tour at all. We didn't have to worry about going on tour. We could focus all of our energy onto writing this album. And I think
that was like one positive from the long ass break we had.
Oh yeah. Right? Yeah. I mean, the pandemic has been, it's been a blessing and a curse. I mean, obviously a curse because it's horrible, it's terrible, and just the nature of everything.
Yes.
But the positives that we did get out of it, it was just not, we were able to spend some time at home, and by some time I mean a lot of time. Yeah. And we got to put all of our energy and time into
focus on the record, on writing.
Yeah.
Instead of having like tours and whatnot get in the way of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you guys write a lot of music on tour, or was that more early on?
Yeah. Past albums, we wrote a lot of stuff on tour. Yeah. Wow. But then again, I mean, Ben always is like writing music regardless if we've just released an album or he's just always he's just a
writing machine.
Yeah, exactly. And Ben and Zach are both they both do the same. I would say not as much as Ben, but yeah, he just has a back catalog of just so much shit that he's written that we always just have like crazy amounts of material.
That's right. Yeah. No, it's rad to have somebody in the band like that.
Yeah. I mean, he's inspired.
Yeah.
He's inspired by I mean, that's where a lot of like the newer stuff and the direction comes from, because he's just, I mean, Ben is very a very death metal guy, but he's also he's just all over the place. It's
Yeah.
not just like I write death metal and that's it. Like that's not him. Like
No.
and the same with the other guys. I mean,
They have their own.
yeah, we don't
Yeah.
they just don't want to write just
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
yeah, we don't want to just write
After a while. The whole fucking time. Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean,
You want
I
to
mean,
explore more.
yeah, I mean, it's just like with anything in life, people get bored of things and they get
Yeah.
bored
Oh,
of.
yeah.
But with music, people like that's where the labels come in, and
Oh,
they
yeah, of course.
yeah, and they just
We
like,
go
well, this is
into all
what you're
that
supposed to
shit.
do because this is who you're.
This is how you
If
started.
you don't do that, if you don't do it this way, then you're selling out.
Yeah,
all that
all
stuff.
that
Just
BS.
like, yeah.
I love that. If you don't mind, I have to pee really freaking bad because I drank so much water before this episode.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna put a BRB screen up real quick, and we'll be right back, everybody. Give me one
All right.
second. All right, we're back. Everyone knows I gotta take a pee break sometimes. All right, guys. I have the worst fucking bladder known to man, Phil. Even when I used to I haven't toured in like 4 years, but even then, like back then, I was like piss bottles after piss bottle.
Oh yeah,
Bad, dude.
I know all about the piss bottles.
Oh yeah, I think yeah. Oh yeah. Last tour I did was actually on a bus. It was nice. It was like nice, but at the same time, I like missed being in a van because like when you're on a bus, you just like don't really see anything, until you stop. You get to, you have if the bus driver stops at a gas station or when you get to the venue. So like the whole time you're like not really seeing any scenery unless you're sitting up front, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember on that tour, it was with Cryptopsy. And I was like, man, I kind of wish we were in a van.
Yeah.
I hate not looking out a window or something. Or I hate laying in this freaking bunk because, or whatever.
Yeah.
That tour, I slept in the back lounge majority of the time. It was like more
Yeah.
comfortable. I was like, I can't sleep in this bunk, dude. I feel like I'm going to fall out of it. Never. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Is there a song? So one of my mods, Benny, asked, is there a song on the new record that is like Hickory Creek? I guess in that
I
style.
will say yes. Yes.
Yeah. Good. I love that. I love the Valley so much. I've listened to that record so much, and I actually went back to it the other day and jammed it a few times because I was like, it's such a good
the cool
metal
thing
record,
is
man.
too is that like if you it's kind of like when part 2 of a movie comes out, like you can go back and once the new album comes out,
Then you can go back.
Yeah, you can go back and like, I mean, you can read through the lyrics and it's all going to coincide with each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a saga.
I like that a lot.
Um, so yeah, it all ties into each other. So
That's fucking rad. Did you guys record with the same producer, or
yes.
you did? And
Hmm.
who was that with? I don't remember who you guys recorded with.
Mark Lewis.
That's right. Okay, that's rad. How was it
Hell yeah.
recording with him?
That was good. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we've known each other for years, and
Mm-hmm.
uh we work really well together, and we know what we want to create, and you know,
He's on
he's
the
not
same
just an
page.
engineer, you know, he's a producer too. So I mean, he's, you know, gives his input on things as well.
Yeah, that's rad. That's somebody awesome to have in a band's corner.
Oh yeah.
What this is another good question. What's your favorite song off the new album? Do you have a favorite?
Mm, I'm a very bad favorite kind of guy.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't really. There's very few things in life that are like my favorite.
Yeah.
Um, but if I had a gun to my head and I had to choose, I would say it'd have to be between Anti-Cure and Orphan
Okay.
and Kin
And Ken.
and Without Us. I mean, it's, you know,
That's how I am. When people are like, "What's your favorite song off the record?" I'm like, I got like five.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
You
love
know?
all of them. That's the thing, is
Yeah.
like, because
It's like,
it's
how do
just,
you?
but as far as like, I guess like sound wise,
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably Anti-Cure or Orphan.
Cool. I'll keep those in mind. Write them down, Benny. What made you guys pick "Lost Boy" as the first single?
Well, I mean, it's second song on the album, and it's got a little bit of everything. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like a when a demon defiles a witch kind of vibe to it. It's very fast and chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's also got a nice relaxed singing part on it, and
Oh, okay. I love that.
it's got, I feel like it's just a
It's got a little bit
culmination
of
of,
everything, right?
yeah, it's got a culmination of our whole career in one song. And yeah, I mean, it's just fast aggressive, and then but it's also slow and beautiful at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, it's like a really good mix. It like captures everything from Whitechapel. 'Cause
Hmm.
it starts off, fast and it's just in your face, and then it does have that like clean part and a good solo and whatnot. So I think it was
Hmm.
definitely a good first single. I feel
Yeah.
like all the comments I would see from people were like actually like very impressed, loved it. So
Yeah, it's, you know, and that's the thing, is like we invite any and all reactions, love it or
yeah,
hate it. You know,
that's it.
this is what it is what it is, and you know, if you enjoy it, great. If you didn't like it, you know, that's fine.
It's fine too. Not everyone's gonna like it, you know.
Oh, of course.
So you guys have a show coming up actually, December 17th, which is your sixth annual Christmas benefit show
Hmm.
in Knoxville. You're doing a portion of all the proceeds will be donated to Young Williams Animal Center, which is fucking awesome that you're doing that.
Hmm.
Is that every year? Do you donate to an animal center or shelter,
No,
or is it
it's
different?
different. Yeah, it's different. So the first couple of years, if I'm remembering right, we did a toy drive. It was a toy drive initially.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first two or three
Mm-hmm.
were toy drives, and then last year we did Humane Society.
Oh, okay.
But this year we're doing our local, like, because the Humane Society is a national thing pretty much. It's, you know, there's the Humane Society
Mm-hmm.
all over the place.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
But Young Williams is our local, like, animal shelter in Knoxville,
Okay.
and they that's where one of my dogs is from.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
so yeah,
That's how you
just,
picked it.
yeah,
That's rad.
and it's just kind of like, just we find, uh I wouldn't say random charities or anything, because none of them are real necessarily charities. It's just I guess Toys for Tots is kind of is, but
Kind of is, right?
um
Is this your first time doing an animal shelter? Animals?
no, well,
No.
because the previous year we did the Humane Society, and
Oh,
that
that's
was
right.
they have an adoption center here too as well. So this year we're doing our local Knoxville based animal shelter that we have here.
Oh, that's rad. So we got some questions that I added in here from a few of my mods. What's your favorite tour you've done so far?
Oh man, again with the favorite questions.
I know.
I'm not a. I
Or
mean,
what is one that still like I don't know? Is there like one?
I'd probably say the mayhem with Slipknot in 2012.
That's a good one. I remember when you guys, got announced on that tour. I feel like a lot of people were like, "Holy shit!" You guys were probably too. I mean, the tour of Slipknot. I mean, that had to be like a, in your bucket list of bands, right? The tour.
Oh yeah,
to be on tour.
Sure.
With.
I their self-titled album came out whenever I was like 6th, 7th grade or something like that, and I listened to them growing up too. So.
Oh yeah, I remember when that record came out. It was like, holy shit, dude. It was like kind of like scared at the same time too. You're like, wow, this is scary, bro.
The front of the cover like was terrifying because they all just looked crazy. Like I was just like, these guys are scary as fuck, and I love it.
I fucking love this. It was like them and like Mudvayne when I found Mudvayne too, which was like shortly after that. I feel like it was like the same. I was like, holy shit, what is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Just went into, and then I just dove into nu metal from there. Is there one memory from tour that you'll never forget?
I would say probably near the beginning of touring. There was like a scuffle between some people in the crowd, and then the people that got kicked out eventually came back and brought a gun with them, and
what the fuck?
They went after one of the bands called Too Pure to Die, and
I remember that band.
For no reason too. They just went after somebody that was at the show, and like they had nothing to do with anything.
Wow.
And one of the guys on the tour got pistol whipped. Nobody ever got shot, but me and Alex were in the van together, just chilling out, and the car vehicle that they were riding around in like pulled up next to us, and me and him like ducked underneath the
like the seats.
Yeah, and just like we're just like, what the fuck is going on? Because we didn't even know what was happening really, but we just knew something was not right. And that was definitely one of the scary moments. Virginia Beach. Yeah. Not really known for the safest.
No, it's not, right?
Yeah, I mean it's well, I don't know how it is today, but definitely back then, it was pretty known for having
a lot of crime, violence,
some bad shit going on.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of tours used to go through Virginia Beach, like everything did, and it just, it has not been that way in so long.
Oh yeah,
it's so weird, dude. So that was such like a one market that like everybody, it was a hot spot. It's crazy that dealt with that. There was one time I was on tour with As Blood Runs Black in Oceano. It was that Over the Limit tour. Me and my friend Joel were on it, TMing it, because it was like 10 bands. So it was me and him TMing it, and we just split it up, 5 bands and 5 bands. And we were in South Carolina, and we go to settle with the promoter. And the show did decent. It did like a few hundred people, like 300-400. And we go settle, and we sit down with the promoter in the back room, and he just pulls out a gun and puts it on the table in front of us, and we're like, what's up?
Yeah.
Could you not do that?
Yeah.
And he's like, why? What, are you guys scared? I'm like, why do you have a gun?
Yeah.
What are we doing? A drug deal?
Yeah, or that, or just like, what is it? I mean, you can have a gun if you want.
Yeah.
It's just like why are you pulling it out?
Yeah, why is it in front of me? I was like, okay.
People
Welcome
do
to
shit.
the South, bro, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, people just do shit, and it's just like,
do stupid
it's just
shit,
like, how do you not see like why this is uncomfortable?
This is not okay.
It has nothing, like this gun has nothing to do with what we're doing right now.
Exactly. Oh man, the story. I think we both have too many stories from tours and whatnot. going to
Mm-hmm.
shows. What's one of your favorite, or do you have, is there a fan interaction that you've had that will always stand out to you that you
Mm,
always like remember?
oh God, put me on the spot here. Uh, Man, it's hard to really sit through my memory on this because I've met so many people and had so many
You
interactions.
probably, yeah,
I've never really had anything that's been like
like
crazy
crazy.
though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only thing that I could say is probably like in South America,
Mm.
like they looked at us like fucking celebrities, and like after the show we got in the vehicle that we were getting transported in, and they were all like on the side like knocking on the
Banging on the
windows and
windows.
yeah, just like
Really?
yeah, not in an aggressive way, just like
Yeah.
they're just like we're just so excited,
Stoked.
so I mean, yeah, and it's just different in America because there's nobody that's really doing that shit.
No. No.
uh
Unless you're
they
like fucking someone huge,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like an actual like big celebrity. But down, I feel like definitely in like part like South America and whatnot, they obviously don't, you know, bands don't always go down there.
yeah, they don't get a
It's
lot of
rare.
stuff, so I mean they just fucking eat it up while they can.
Exactly. How is Coco and Max doing?
Good.
Good. That's
Yeah,
great.
they're laying
They
over
just
there on my bed as we speak.
yeah, same with my dog Rosie. She's just lays like in by the kitchen or sorry, the dining room and just like watches me. Usually I have
Yeah,
the door closed, but my girlfriend works overnight shifts at the hospital, so she's sleeping right now. So if I
yeah,
close my door, my dog is gonna feel like I hate her, and I don't want her to feel that
yeah,
way. So I'm gonna keep the door open.
yeah.
What's your favorite new modern metal bands? I guess what's some of your new favorite bands? I don't know. Like,
The one band that's only there's only like really one band that I've like really paid attention to. Is just because I love the people or love the dude. I know like the other guys too, but I know him the most.
mm-hmm.
Is Shadow of Intent.
Awesome. Yes, dude. That's like one band that is to me is like I feel like they're gonna get much bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I just appreciate the effort he puts into his lyrical content, his cadences, his flow, his the the music in general. Uh,
Oh yeah,
it's different, and he's got a sick voice too. I
dude.
mean,
Ben's the man. I've had him on here before,
yeah.
and he's such a sweet dude.
Mm-hmm.
So chill. Loves his history. He was telling me
Oh
how
yeah,
you know he's
yeah.
so stoked to go to Europe
Mm-hmm.
and explore and whatnot, and I think that's fucking rad. He's just a really good dude overall, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously an incredible vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing. If you could choose, what is one band you want to tour with that you haven't toured with yet?
Mm,
Is there somebody still at the in the bucket in the bucket?
yeah, again, that's just another one where it's like there's just so many.
Yeah.
I
Have you
mean, I
guys
would
toured with Gojira yet?
no, I'd love to.
That would be sick.
Yeah, I mean them, fucking Alice in Chains,
Dude, yeah, that'd be fucking wild.
fucking Deftones, Tool.
Those would be sick too. To
Yeah, I
see
mean just
Whitechapel with.
Meshuggah.
Oh yeah, you haven't done much sugar yet.
No, we've done like shows with them, and we did like Soundwave with them in Australia, and that's not
Mm-hmm.
really I just don't really consider like festival tours like that like real tours. Like
No.
I consider like because like with bands like that, it's usually gonna be Meshuggah plus special guests or Tool, and then whoever's with them is gonna be like somewhere at the bottom, just like supporting acts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
Those few are solid. Yeah, it'd be great to see like a Meshuggah Gojira Whitechapel tour. That would be
Oh yeah,
insane.
yeah, I would love that.
And then like one other band underneath, like Shadow of Intent.
Yeah,
See,
thug it.
see, these are the
Bring it
tours need to
on.
happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can.
yeah, no, that would be wild. I always think about like these lineups. I'm like, man, this would be sick.
Yeah,
Like, why aren't we do? Why isn't this happening?
yeah.
You know. Let's see. Do you have a guilty pleasure band or artist?
Mm,
Oh, that's a good question too. Let me see.
I would say probably. I mean, I listen to a lot of hip hop, but I mean, I guess that's not really necessarily guilty pleasure because I
Like,
mean, I grew up on it too, and
yeah, yeah, that wouldn't be one.
uh,
Maybe not. I feel like some not. I feel like not everybody has like a guilty pleasure, like band or artist that they listen to.
yeah, I mean, it's because I don't really think about it ever. Like, I don't think about it as like. I guess it's just because I don't really. Yeah, I
Consider
just
it
don't
that.
think about it. I
Yeah,
because like I listen to what I listen to, and I just don't look at it as like something that would be weird, I guess.
exactly.
Um, I don't know, maybe like
Nickelback. No, I wouldn't even consider. I actually liked Nickelback growing up.
I mean I'm not gonna lie, I listened to a few of their songs back
Yeah,
whenever I was a
like
teenage
the
kid.
like the first record. I was like, actually,
Yeah,
I liked it when I was younger. I was like, this is
yeah.
good.
I would say,
Creed.
fuck, man,
Someone's stop saying trapped in chat, please.
because I mean like I'm trying because like as of today, like yeah, I mean I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I yeah,
It's hard to pull one.
I'd have to think on it for a minute,
Yeah.
more than a minute
My
probably.
friend Sean said Creed is not a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, they are the gods of music in general.
Yeah, come on, guys. See, that would be a good tour. Creed, Whitechapel.
Hmm.
Would you do that?
Yeah, try to get on stage with Scott Stapp.
They do. They have some fucking riffs. You're right, Sean.
Yeah, I mean Mark Tremonti is a good guitar player. I
He
mean
really is, dude. They wrote some, honestly, some good songs. Obviously, because that band was fucking huge, and they
yeah.
still technically are. Uh, when is Whitechapel announcing a tour?
I don't know exactly when we'll be doing that, but I'd imagine within probably the next few months or so.
Yeah, that'd be rad. Haven't seen you. Damn. I don't remember the last time I saw Whitechapel.
Definitely been almost 2 years, over
Well,
2 years.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely over 2 years. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell tour it was. Might have been that one with Rivers of Nile.
Okay.
Man, that was a while ago. Could have been
Is
after
that
that.
a corgi?
Oh, yeah. You see her?
Yeah.
Rosie, come up. Come on. Say hi to Phil. Look up. She's like, I'm going to lay down right here. Yeah, she's great. She's like, she just turned 12, I think. I adopted her. What is on your head? I adopted her when she was like 3 or 4. She was a stray. Somehow.
That's crazy.
Corgi was a stray.
Yeah, my little one, she's gonna be 11 in January.
Oh, really? Yeah, I hate that they get old quick.
Yeah,
It
it's
sucks.
the fact that they live, the amount of time that they live is so unfair.
So unfair. It's like, why can't you live till you're like 40, dude? 30?
Yeah.
Can we get 30? No? Maybe? We'll see. You're in good health. Anyway, let's see. Do I have anything else from these questions? Let's see. I do not. Well, anyway, I'm stoked for Kin. I feel like a lot of people are. Stoked to hear the next single. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I can only expect that from you guys. And thank you for doing this today with me.
Yeah,
It was a
absolutely.
fucking blast. I think right after I get off this Zoom call with you, I'll play a couple of Whitechapel videos for everyone. especially the new one, Lost Boy. And we'll go from there. And I'm sure we'll do this sometime again soon. Maybe I'll get one of the other guys in here
Hell yeah.
and we'll shoot the shit. Oh, yeah. I appreciate it, Phil. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Talk to you later, dude.
See ya.
Bye.